So far, the crew has cleared every hurdle naysayers have placed in their way. Columbus would be home to one of the 10 inaugural teams. Columbus has outperformed much larger cities. The true success indicator has been from the fans.
Well, it's going night out. And don't you know we're gonna scream and shout, oh no.
Hello and welcome to the club. I'm your host Mars, and this is the Upper 90 Club Roundtable Podcast, where five friends discuss the Columbus Crew. On this week's episode, we are going to go through some Twitter, Discord discussions. We're going to do a best of three trivia round in lieu of our shootout segment. Chris DeVille was not able to join us for this episode. We have some...
Feel better, Chris. Was he even
we
sick?
have
I
some,
don't think he was even sick.
And we're going to talk about our bracket,
P's and P's.
the Crew's bracket, but also we filled out our brackets on MLSsoccerfootball.org. And we were joined by a few people. I mean, having done it, I was unable to find it again. It took some coaching from a neighbor and a young person.
Was it the little kids telling you how to use the internet?
Yeah,
again?
that's what it was. I'm surprised no one has interrupted me with "Happy birthday to you."
Okay. Oh, well, I would normally do "Happy birthday, pardon me."
Yeah,
Feliz cumpleaños a mí.
the Duolingo is paying off. Finally, finally, with Ben running a massive 40 cuarentos y uno.
41.
Is that what it is?
Sorry, everybody.
We should start
Sorry.
41.
Lo siento, mis amigos.
Happy birthday, Ben.
Thank you.
Gratulerer med dagen.
So
Actual bilingual.
that's what we're gonna go through. There was not a game since our last episode, so we're going to cover Wednesday's game next week, and we'll probably try to keep a weekly publishing schedule, despite the funky play schedule for this round of three round.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this? I mean, is there what we kind of talked about it both just as we did our predictions, but also I think inaccurately with what the actual rules were. But like just generally, what do you guys think about the best of three concept for soccer? Does it make any sense?
Well, the goal of it was to like get rid of having like upsets, right? Like off the first round, like just a random upset.
No, I think the goal of it was to allow every team to have at least one home game.
But couldn't they just do
But
aggregate?
still have a home benefit, right? So you can still if it's home and away, you don't get a benefit of.
So there's no
of
benefit
winning.
in doing an aggregate series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, yeah, and total goals don't count. It's just win and loss, which I don't hate. I don't actually hate that.
It's just weird because of what we're used to.
Yeah.
Like, we're so used to caring about goal differential in each match. I mean,
Well, I never
just
loved
throws you
the
off.
Yeah, I never loved the away goal counts more than a home goal thing. I think that is like one of the most ridiculous rules.
Yeah, but it's not always
Like,
in
you know-
play. Right. I mean, I hear you, but that's really only in play.
Well, it's like
in a
it'll
draw.
be like 2-1, and then you go play away, and it's like 1-0, and they still have to get a second goal.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah,
goal.
that's
The
pretty
goal
weird.
aggregate. I'm like, I never loved it. It seemed like a weird way to judge how good a team.
There
is
must
compared
be
to
some
another team.
like money thing at play too, right? More games is more revenue.
Mhm.
100%. It's always about the money.
Yeah, a play-in to even get into the playoffs.
Well, 'cause
It's like,
soccer-
don't we call that the regular season?
Soccer is not a series sport, right? Like I have this gripe, and I won't go too far down this rabbit hole, but like baseball is a series sport, right? Like you have a pitching rotation, and like you need to play a bunch of games to determine which team is better. But like basketball, for instance, like the same starting five guys are going to play a series of 7. This same rule applies here. I don't really see how a best of 3 series is relevant to the gameplay. But this is what we're doing now. So we have
for now,
for this round.
well,
Yeah.
for this year, hopefully. Then
yeah,
I would not miss it if it went
100%.
away again. But okay, so we have a game on Wednesday, and then the next Tuesday, and then if needed, there's a game the following Sunday, the 12th. So we'll publish as frequently as we can. But for this episode, no game. So I thought that we were gonna get DeVille in here, but we didn't. So I figured we could just kind of like, I don't know if this is trivia as much as just a few things to talk about. A handful of topics that we could talk about off the jump here. Number one, and most importantly, because of the holiday, the grandest of holidays, Halloween.
My birthday. Thank you very
next
much.
Tuesday. We saw a lot of players, football and soccer players, coming in like in costume. So I wanted to kind of go around here and see, if you were going to the game as a player or a fan, what would you wear this weekend? So let's start with Ben.
Yeah, I thought about this. I'm the one that actually sent you the question, full disclosure. And no, I don't really
was
have an answer
you?
off the yeah. Ooh, surprise. A little peek behind the curtain. Yeah, I'd probably just do what I went with for the party I just went to, which is my own party, as it is. I did the Legends of the Hidden Temple. My wife and I went as the, I want to say purple snakes? No, silver snakes. It was purple parrots.
So
Yeah.
Orange monkeys.
Yeah.
So for anyone under 41, that was
I'm sorry, what, Huz?
a
What'd you say?
television show in the 90s that was kind of Legend of the Hidden Temple was like kind of parallel to
Double
Guts
and Guts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was another one where they would have to look at like those highlight magazines where there was hidden stuff. Do you guys remember that one? I'll find
Yeah,
I'll find
I
it
think I
because
know what you're talking
it's
about.
awesome. Because there was
that one.
Probably.
Okay.
No.
Mark Summers.
What are you guys talking about?
Mark Summers hosted every game show.
Yeah,
So
sure.
he was like the Chuck Woolery of the 90s.
For children.
Take it easy, huh?
Because Woolery was all over those ladies.
Every time he said 2 and 2, he's asking for a threesome.
He was handsy.
So to be clear, your costume would have been like a silver shirt and pants and a helmet, or what?
No,
No,
I wore
purple.
a
They were
purple
the
shirt
purple one.
that had the parrot on it. I got a yellow helmet. I wore goggles, which was more of a double duty
Yeah.
thing, but I had them laying around.
There weren't
gloves.
goggles in Legend of the
I did wear,
except
and
for when they were
everybody
swimming
wore.
laps. All right, yeah.
Yeah, those weren't those goggles. And then I had big baggy khaki shorts,
Cargo
Like
shorts?
cargo shorts. Yeah,
Nice.
where I kept my inhalers.
Excellent. What about you, Mort?
Mm-hmm.
So generally, I try to pick some kind of character with hair so I can wear a wig. Because I think it's like one time a year I can actually like, oh, look at my hair, it's beautiful.
And wear makeup.
Yeah, well, that too, But generally, it's what Stacy tells me to wear. It's like she
Also true.
finds out something, and I have to be a part of that because we always do things together. So she was Princess Peach this year. So yesterday I was dressed up as Mario with homegrown mustache, colored.
We saw a photo of it. It was great.
Yeah.
Yes, it was
so
a dyed
Looked
mustache.
like Gallagher. I still
Yeah,
think it like
I'm
it was
so
the
upset
hat.
that
It was
you
the
got
hat.
rid of the mustache.
The hat
you
and the
should've
mustache.
kept
The
the
mustache
mustache.
looked good. You look good without it, but
Worse
But
without
it's
it.
funny. Somebody else said also that I look like Gallagher. It was not only you guys.
You were a very, very fashionable Mario.
Yeah.
Well, modern day trendy Mario.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
so it
for
sounds
sure.
like you were the accessory.
Metro Mario.
As much as you love to wear accessories
Metro Mario.
for as much as you love to wear accessories for the holiday, it sounds like you were your wife's accessory, right?
Yes.
a very fashionable one at that. What about you, Trey?
Metro Mario. It's really funny.
Oh, so my wife and I always are the worst people at dressing up for Halloween. We went to a party last night and we dressed as, shocker here, Columbus Crew players.
Yeah. Checks out.
Well, I got these jerseys around. What
We got
what
these
else am I gonna do
jerseys
with
and
them?
shorts and socks. What are we gonna do? But didn't always used to be the case. Used to go down to OU's big Halloween party every year, and one year I went as Lance Armstrong. That was fun.
Were you
How
in
did you
court
go to Lance
or-
Armstrong?
Yeah.
I
One ball.
One
I
ball.
stuffed one side of my groin, and then walked around screaming the whole night. I have one ball, and then the next year I went. Me and my friend went as bearded clams, so that was fun.
We need to tell the crew to play more
but-
games so we can avoid segments like these. Haas,
I can't publish any of this.
Haas, the question was, if you were going to a game today, what would you wear? Answer that
Let's talk about
question,
my past
please.
life Halloween costumes real quick. Let me tell you the history of my costumes. I'd be Lieutenant Dangle.
Oh, that's good. And
Like
he is, for the people that, because I guarantee no one knows what I went as, because half the people at the party were like, "What are you?" And I was like,
Yeah.
Oh, look at the costume.
They all
You
sound
said-
like that.
Almost
What are ya?
41.
Oh my god!
I'm, like, contemplating
Haas
if I
has
should
put
be
on
here.
his
That's what I
dangle
am.
shades from the hit, early aughts TV show, Reno 911.
Reno 911.
yes.
Mhm.
All right. I think I would.
Man, I would love to see you in those short shorts. Oh, boy.
I would blow the
Shouldn't have
dust
said it like
off
that,
of the gorilla and banana costumes that I wore in concert to a crew game once upon a time.
It was so hot, and you went in a full
It was
gorilla
great. It was
suit.
great. We drove the van down. I was driving the van with a dozen people. I was in the costume, in a gorilla suit, in a banana costume, and people were taking pictures.
have that
man,
picture
people were
somewhere.
taking pictures
I
with
have a-
me.
I have a picture of
people
you
were
at the
stopping.
game
I was
dancing.
the veterans were saluting me. It was it was incredible.
From what war?
Yeah. So I think I would redux that, but
There was actually somebody posted on Facebook that their kid insisted to go as the banana, like as he had seen at the crew games.
yeah,
So it's
Nice.
not,
Uh-huh.
which
Love
is
it.
pretty sweet.
the legend lives on.
The Legend of the Hidden Temple lives on.
Okay. All right, moving on.
All right, see you guys.
Here's one. So I dug this one up. That one was sourced from Ben, as we mentioned. This is more traditional, and I just want to see
What is the history of your costumes?
Yeah,
Nope,
okay.
don't have to answer
Oh, I
That
got
one
this
for the
covered.
last
I got
25
this one.
years. Tell me the most
That's what I'm
offensive
talking about.
costume you've worn. And only share if you know that you'll be canceled shortly thereafter. No,
I have worse ones.
please don't elaborate. Here's my question: which one of these teams has won an MLS Cup in the last 25 years? Your choices are Dallas, New England Revolution, New York Red Bull, or Chicago. I'll go
In the last how many
25 years.
And only one of them.
Yes. Which one of these teams
Only one of
has won an MLS Cup in the last 25 years? Dallas, New England Revolution, New York Red Bull, or Chicago?
Gotta be Dallas.
We'll just go around the horn because I don't think you guys have anything ready to
I'm gonna say Dallas.
trace.
Yeah,
it
I'm gonna
down.
say Dallas.
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 We should say
Dallas.
1, 2, 3, and then everybody.
Haas.
say it.
Everyone has already said Dallas. Haas has not
What does
said anything.
Lieutenant Dangle want?
Red Bull.
Red Bull. Okay.
They haven't
So
ever.
as
had
we
one.
discussed on last
week.
week's
Just talked
episode,
about
Red
this.
Bull has not won
Just
one.
going against the grain.
Who out of us?
If he was
bet
smart,
from the
if he was
future
smart,
money.
he would have said my audio stopped working. But instead, he said New York Red Bull, Dallas, New England Revolution, and New York Red Bull are all
New England.
charter members of the league, and none have won an MLS Cup. Chicago won in '98.
I thought they won in '96. Oh,
Woof.
well, yeah, that would never mind.
That's
Yeah.
how he gets you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
They didn't
Oh, I
exist
get-
in '96.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
all right, and then
Booze.
let's see. The last one that I
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I got one here. I've got one here that I thought was interesting. The most rounds that a shootout, because in light of this segment, the shootout, and in lieu of this segment, the shootout, I wanted to talk about most rounds in a playoff shootout. It happened in 2015 between the Portland Timbers and Sporting Kansas City. I don't remember how that season ended, but in the playoffs before Portland came to Columbus, the score was 2-2, and there was a shootout lasting the most rounds that any shootout had ever had before in the MLS playoffs. And your choices are 9, 10, 11, or 12 rounds. So that's,
Do you
best
want
of
this in the
5,
chat, or-
then they go to sudden death, round 6, round 7, round 8, up to 12. Was it 9, 10, 11, or 12 rounds?
I
to
swear I heard
decide.
Trey typing. He's typing.
not
And as we
typing.
know, Portland won
I'm
that
not
game
typing.
because they did go to Columbus later in that stretch.
Send it in the chat.
So 11, the goalies would have had to shoot,
Maybe
Yeah.
so, yeah.
right?
Um,
And that's
Chat send.
do you want this in the chat?
Go ahead. In the chat. let's
Everybody
see.
ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Just send them off.
All right, putting it in the chat.
Okay, I see a 10, 10, 10, and
My numbers locked
Ben-
isn't working.
Cheater.
Happy
Cheater.
birthday.
Ben said 11. It
Okay.
was 11. Happy birthday, Ben.
Ooh, I thought I remembered the goalies taking it and one of the goalies missing it. That's why.
Happy 11th birthday.
Thank
right.
you.
The last thing I have, and then we'll cut to a break here,
Plus 30.
is in light of the in light of daylight savings approaching next weekend. I wanted to just kind of poll you guys on what your stance was on time. As we all know, Darius Rucker wants to know why it punishes him, but I wanted to know how you felt about daylight savings time. Your choices are A, keep daylight savings time, B, get rid of daylight savings time, C, one that I've cooked up, which is coordinated universal time. There's just time. It's just the same time. Everyone uses the same time, and we all just have different
Across
time.
the world? Oh, man, I love that.
And D is tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day. The last syllable of recorded time, then all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way dusty death. Out, 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 brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a
Kerouac?
poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It's a tale told by an idiot, full of
Dylan.
sound and fury, signifying nothing. That's from Macbeth. Your thoughts?
The disc golf player?
I was a couple hundred years off.
Good old Paul. Always.
Paul.
Is that a haiku, Garth?
Ben, what are your thoughts on daylight savings time?
It's got to go.
gotta
I
go.
really like everybody. Yeah, I really like everybody being on the same time.
It's just like
it'd be.
It makes sense.
thank you.
It kind of
Thank
does.
you.
Ben, okay, so my vote is for time.
Yeah,
Just time.
I like time.
because it comes
I like
along,
time.
It goes back to my number one pet peeve, which is feels like.
Yeah,
And that's why I feel like daylight savings time is. It's like, well, it feels like it's 6 o'clock, so we're just going to call it 6 o'clock.
Yes.
But even when they
Yeah,
roll
it
back,
feels
it
like
doesn't
9 o'clock.
feel-
So you're with C. You're with
should roll
option
back.
C. You want to go all UTC?
Yeah, well,
I
what
wanna go with
about the
time.
farmers, Tracy?
But that doesn't. But
Farmers.
it's like. But okay.
Gotta think about the farm.
But like, what are
FarmersOnly.com.
Yeah, and I don't actually know enough about this, and I'm just going to keep riding this wave. I also feel like I'm going to be 100% honest. As I am saying this, I had this horrifying thought that this idea may have been planted in my head by
Aliens.
long-time listener and frequent score subverter, Rob Thomas. I feel like that he might have mentioned
Thomas.
this concept to me. Regardless, coordinated
He's the
universal
smartest
time.
person I've ever
Everyone just uses the same time.
So-
are we all in agreement, or are
Wait,
there?
wait,
Well, I
hold
don't think
on.
Mort's done it. And I feel like Mort probably has a take.
The one person who's lived out of our country, what do you think we're morons? Like,
No, but can we please at least have it on the same day as the rest of the world? So it's like, yeah,
No.
we're going to do daylight saving like 2 weeks before Europe.
Well, Arizona
Another
doesn't
case-
even practice daylight savings time. Like Arizona doesn't have that.
They don't practice.
Yeah, no, I get
Isn't
rid
that
We're not
insane?
practicing.
I didn't really.
Same.
get rid
are
of
we
it.
talking about practice?
Yeah. They don't even scrimmage with time.
I,
All right, Mr. Iverson.
no, get rid of it. I'm
down.
actually like the concept of that one time. You know, like
That's a good branding name. One time.
Is
one
that
time
Microsoft's time?
with just the letter or
One
the number
time.
one
yeah,
time.
Yes.
yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
heard that. I
Well, it
love that.
exists. I mean, UTC exists. Like it already exists. It's like, so when you see Eastern or whatever.
What do you think the U stands for? Uncle? Ted Uncle? Ted Uncle time?
No,
It's on
u-
Central
Uncle Ted
Time.
it's
time?
universal. It's universal. Now, I will
Yeah, it's
I will
your
mention
favorite
that
Uncle
Illinois was very close to getting rid of daylight savings time, but I think it just fizzled out. But it was like sitting on the desk to get signed. But
You guys couldn't bribe enough people.
yeah, I don't know. I think it was like it was like early in 2020, and COVID. Whoop. Well, I guess we're staying on daylight savings time. It's just COVID.
I vote for C. C.
All right.
Let's see.
Time.
So hold on. So this is
Time.
what we're talking about on one like week off. Can you imagine how we're going to be in off season?
Oh, it's going to be great.
No, we got a plan for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that all
it's
planned
gonna
out,
be great.
Mort.
Oh, I know.
All right, so it sounds good. It sounds like it is time to go to a break. So let's do that. When we get back, we'll talk through the bracket, and we may spend a little time talking about our brackets. So we'll be right back. Girls, come to story time. In the great green room, there's a telephone and a red balloon.
Dad, please don't do this. Goodnight Moon is for babies.
It's a board book, dude.
Okay, fine. What's it gonna be? You guys pick.
Okay, we love this one.
Oh, A Massive Collection Volume 1 by Steve Sirk. This is the first wide-ranging collection of his work. It features long-lost stories dating as far back as 97. It has a lot of popular favorites from over the years, too.
Well, what is volume 1? Like it's quiet?
No, it means it's like the first of a larger set.
Oh, okay, so where's the next one?
Well, it's funny that you asked that because Volume 2 just came out. You can get it at Steve Sirk's website, circbook.com. It'll also be available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Links will be available at
We are
some
not
point.
listening to you. Just go order it.
All right, we're back. I lied. We're not going to do the brackets. We're going to do the listener questions. So
First, we're still going to do the brackets.
yeah, we're going to do the brackets, but we're going to do the listener questions first, or as I like to call it, reading you the internet. So let's go.
Oh,
Let's go to Ben and allow him to start reading.
I'm just going to read down through what I have underneath this thing. Actually, this is all over the place. Holy crap.
The internet is it's a vast place.
Yeah.
It's a wild place.
The first thing, I'm not going to read that. I'm going to read the second one. So
Series of
there was
tubes.
a bit of a drive-by coastering.
Yeah.
That's one of us did. Allegedly,
So we have
one of us did.
we have these really cool coasters. I'm looking for one. Oh, here.
Yeah, the
This will
audience
show-
can
It's
hear.
audio
show up on
format.
YouTube.
Here, I'm going to rub it on the mic so you can hear it.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, they have these really cool
You can
coasters.
hear how cool they are.
So, and they have our QR code. So if you don't know about the show, you can listen to it. But you all are already listening to it, so it doesn't really matter. But Ben, you have been leaving these on people's cars.
All over the place. If I see someone have like a crew thing, I just like will put it on there. I'm used to, I mean, you get it because we used to play music back in the early 2000s and it was all guerrilla. Like you put up flyers on campus and stuff like that. Like come to the show, come to the show. So I'm just used to like the guerrilla war, like
Marketing.
We called it guerrilla advertising.
Yeah.
Marketing, that's a word. So yeah, so I just anytime that anybody's out, I keep driving by someone with a crew flag and I keep wanting to get out and put it on their doorstep, but yeah, I should just throw it, hiya, hiya, and then just star it at them. But I did it, and I find someone finally, and it ended up being Courtney from the Nordeck, and she's like, "Look what I found," and I was like,
She is
Kinda
she the,
creepy, but-
is she the
Yeah.
time big clock lady?
Yes.
Yeah,
She
we
is the
should have
big clock
asked her
lady.
that question about
Big
time
clocks.
zones.
Oh,
Interested to hear
yeah.
what she has
"We
to
should
say.
get her on.
Yeah,
I'll reach out."
Yeah,
And discuss time.
you know, I was
Don't
not,
talk about the crew. Just be like, "What's your
We're
is
talking
time a
about time.
construct or
Have you met Matt Hawes? Because he hates time.
yeah, Lieutenant Dangle?"
But he
We,
loves you.
uh,
He loves
I
that you have
hate
a clock.
the lack
I-
of time.
the
I
lack
have to
of
say
time.
that the concept of the big game, the big clock lady or whatever her title is during game time, it's incredible because that is like the number one thing that like if I could think of something that I have criticized the live experience for the most, it is that. It's like, are we all seriously like everyone at home knows how long it's been, but we don't know.
I wrote the front office about
Yeah.
this. I
Same.
did. Yeah. When they send out the like, what could we change to make your experience better? I wrote back and said you could have a clock that counts up.
Past
What are you
45.
benefiting?
No,
like
no.
we're gonna
Hey, so-
hide. We're gonna
No,
hide
but
the
I heard
referee's
an interview.
decision
I
of
heard
how
an
long.
interview with her, and she was saying that it's a league thing. It's not like a crew thing.
Which is stupid.
Well,
I mean,
right.
just
It's
you're,
still
you're not
stupid.
But you
It is
see it on
not
the
like-
TV when you're watching.
That's what I said. Yeah,
right. We all have watches. I mean,
yeah.
Do we?
it's not. A
Why are
secret.
you
It's-
making us use them?
Why is this?
Well, it is
Big watch.
imperative-
Big watch is behind this.
What's imperative is that she is at every game because there've been games
Yeah.
where she wasn't at, and I had no idea what time it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always the worry.
Shots,
So-
shots fired.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe we won't
I'm
have her.
sorry,
on.
that
I didn't
was
realize
Morton?
Yeah.
Morton Crosby.
Mort showed up at halftime because you weren't there and he didn't know what time it was.
He's like, "Where am I
Yeah.
at? What am I doing?" We had a yeah.
Where's my
He's gonna
clock?
bring his own
All right.
clock and be like, "How long has it been since we've seen the big clock?"
And I don't have a
Like
digital
Clock-
one.
Clock Wars.
I have a big analog.
Mort's the new Flavor
It's a
Flav.
big
Yeah,
analog
that's
clock.
exactly what I was gonna
He has
say.
an analog clock
He's
without
gonna-
a second hand. He's just holding up a
Courtney's
clock.
over there with the. Courtney's got the big digital one, and
He
Mort's
just,
like
it's just
cranking
the
side.
time.
with his
It's
hand.
just UTC. This is what time it is in the middle of the Atlantic.
Mort's just.
Where the aliens live.
Oh.
All right, so
Thanks,
I posted way too late for Twitter, but we did have one. Ashley said, "Uncle and Boyko." She's saying that Uncle and Boyko are probably going to red card each other at the St. Louis KC game tonight. So Ted Uncle's the center ref, and the fourth official is that Boyko guy who red carded the entire team that
Yeah.
one game.
Yeah.
The ref,
It was
like,
New York
did not
City
know.
FC
Mhm.
and Nancy got a red card in that
Yeah.
game.
And the assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it
And
ridiculous? So I think is the time of recording. I'm going to check back in here in a second during the next segment. When we get a break, I want to see how many cards have actually been out.
So
I also reached out to the Discord.
hold on before you move on. I want to
Yeah.
just break. Speaking of Boyko, I was sitting at a lunch like it was 4 to 6 weeks after that game, and I was talking to a guy who was raised in Columbus, lives in Columbus, or I said Columbus, raised in Chicago, lives in Chicago, just a colleague of mine, and he asked me like, well, do you have any hobbies? And I was like, well, I have 4 kids. And I
So
said,
no.
right. But I said, but I do a Columbus Crew podcast. And he said, oh, I went to a game and the game experience was incredible. And he started describing the game. And he went to that New York City FC game. And when he was telling me this, and it had, again, a lot of time had passed between this lunch and that game. But I remembered Mort saying, like, how buzzed you were because we came back and tied, right? A man down late.
Yeah.
And
I probably should have won.
I just want to
Best crowd of the year.
I
still,
wanted to share
agree.
that story because it didn't even take a Crew game to appreciate what an awesome experience going to a Crew game was, even in a case where there was like a bunch of referee BS. So I've been meaning to bring that up, and I keep forgetting. But you mentioned the Boyko thing, and it was like I was just so random. I didn't know that I would happen upon someone who had gone to a game more recently than I did at lower.com. But it was good.
I love it. Yeah. Currently 12 minutes in, no yellow cards, but that doesn't mean anything. Also, reach out to the Discord. Shout out to the Discord. Those guys are killing it. And it's been super busy. There's been a lot of people. It's been a lot more busy than it was at the beginning of the season when I logged on. So they're doing a heck of a job. Connor said, we all know Columbus is the greatest team in the world has ever seen, but has Columbus the greatest team the Milky Way has ever seen? And I don't know if he meant like Milky Way bars. And then I told him, I was like, don't get me started on aliens. Like Tracy knows, I've been like obsessed with.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
And I was like, I can't talk about it on the pod. I'll start freaking out. I'll be like,
so let me answer that question with another question. And that is how far in advance of trick-or-treating do you buy your Halloween candy?
I don't.
You don't buy candy. Are you a tricker? Do you do tricks?
He turns out the lights.
They all get pennies.
Pennies.
There was a guy in my neighborhood growing up. Trey, do you remember that guy? Were you in the neighborhood with that guy? He was like 150 years old.
Neighborhood.
He would hand out pennies on McCasser. I was just like, oh, dude.
So you'd have to go there like 10 times and trick him?
I think it's one of those things where
we have nobody that comes to our house, so we don't buy candy. The first year we bought an entire bag of candy, and then nobody came to our house. So
you live in a weird spot for that. We are going to go through bags. I have one bag already, but I've eaten half of it because I'm going to have diabetes.
I have diabetes. I have that.
I know. But the wrong type.
Oh, this is why I asked, man.
Ben's trying to earn his.
This is why I asked, because there was
yours was handed out free to you at birth.
It was like I went to that old guy's door and he gave me diabetes.
Diabetes.
It was
He said all that he said was check your blood sugar, and check it off.
A horse onto a smaller horse.
He just gives you a little prick and he's like, "Congrats, check it."
That's
not
that door.
No, well, this is why I asked, is because a few years ago I bought it like way early, like, oh, I'm gonna get a deal. But then I just ate all of it.
Valentine's Day.
You ate all of it. That's what I did. I've eaten half of it. Yeah. I'm like, no one likes Almond Joys, so I just smashed them all. And then every single one of the bigger Reese
in the parking lot. Just like
crying. Yeah.
I didn't know it was Courtney's car. I didn't know.
My kids were all...
Courtney's like, why is this coaster covered in chocolate? Like,
your fingerprints were all over it. I mean, literally, in chocolate, your fingerprints were just...
The door handle, everything was covered in... You could see where my car had been.
Her wipers on.
God. Well, yeah. So I mean, my kids were all concerned. Like, well, so what happens if you wait too long to get Halloween candy? Because I told them this. I'm like, I won't buy it early because I'll just eat it. And they're like, well, what happens if you wait? I was like, I have bought it at 5 p.m. on the day. Like,
100%.
don't worry about it.
Yep.
But okay. All right. So I think
I heard a hack because I don't think there's any kids that listen to this that are really young, but I have a neighbor I dropped her off.
has
And
anything to do with it.
She
Get off my pod.
she goes to a different like city and does she has her kids do like trick or treat, lets them keep 2 or 3 pieces of candy and then puts that candy in a bowl and rehands it back out.
Oh my God.
The night of ours. I
Who is
know.
this?
No, I'm not gonna say no names. No
Some
names for
cheapskate,
me.
you know?
Lord,
I thought that was a sick
$10.
flex,
Yeah.
but
That's the cheapest
we got
thing.
kids.
That is the cheapest thing that the Milky Way has ever seen.
yeah.
What else you got?
So back to the question.
All right. Yeah, to answer your question, yes. Anyways, Nick says, actually, this week, the Big Ten women's tournament is being held at LDC this entire week.
Yep.
Why?
And I thought that was interesting. So
There's
Why?
2
Is
games.
that a question?
Okay, all right.
There's 2 games on 11-2. One's at 5 p.m. That's Wisconsin versus Nebraska. That's a 2-3 matchup. And then at 7:30, you have Penn State versus Iowa, which is I don't see rankings for either of these teams. But Penn State was 4. I think Iowa was was an 8 seed. So you got an 8-4 and a 2-3 at LDC, and then on 11-5 at 2 p.m. you got championship game.
also it's the Final Four is what it is. I thought there was like more games in that. Oh, okay. Well, I was like, yeah, why didn't they use Historic Crew Stadium? That stadium's like fine.
Turf to
Like,
the max.
I mean, and that's what they said. It's turf. And like,
Why don't play at Ohio State?
Why do you hate soccer, Mort?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
that's a good
I
question.
mean, it's not going to matter. We're not back until the 12th.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
yeah, and
they
they're
do a
probably
good
not
job.
going to
We play on-
sell
we play on the
100,000
first.
tickets. I mean,
Yeah, that's also true. It's like playing
Well,
in
not
New
only that,
England. It's like you have 15,000 people. It looks like there's like 7.
We know this. Ben Jackson and the grounds crew, they'll have that thing beautiful by 5 days later, 7 days later.
I have to text him
Sure.
actually right now. Okay, and then Bird. Hey, shout out to Bird and all the work he's put in. We paid him $0, even though that guy is like the best. And and for the people that don't know, he actually came up with the capybara name and the cappies. He coined that term. So when we interviewed him forever ago, I was just like, I gotta talk to this guy. This guy's a sweetheart. Just had a little baby girl. I love that dude. He says, yeah.
I'm glad that we got him to sign that thing that said he would do the updates, and that it was legally
For free
binding.
forever.
Are you just buttering him up because of this ridiculous statement he made? Just saying.
Which one?
Go ahead.
Go
ahead. Read.
He didn't say this. It was somebody else that said that. Who do you think will be a surprise MVP for our playoff run? I didn't read the R, actually. But yeah, now that I read it, who do you think will be a surprise MVP for our playoff run? Assuming it goes far.
And then
Matan.
somebody said, why is it Molino?
Yeah, that's what everybody in there. And then the
That's
comments were
what I'm talking
Molino. Hey,
I'm going Matan.
Nope.
I like that question.
Okay.
Yeah, who's
can
gonna?
you imagine Kamo coming on at like a 2-2 game and scoring like a winner?
No.
Nope. I would
Okay.
turn it
We can
off.
move on.
I would
Not
turn
at
it
all.
off. I wouldn't be able to watch it. Maybe they would do. Maybe they would dabble in the 2 out of 3 format. You know, like it's not the end of the world.
You're going to hear it on the broadcast if he comes on. Yeah. Anywho, Ramirez. That's who I'm going with.
Oh yeah, that's a good shout. I was actually thinking the opposite. I was thinking Rossi
I was thinking Rossi too.
because he hasn't shown. I mean, he's like I'm talking MVP. I mean, you would think Cucho. I mean, Cucho is probably like a shoe-in. That guy's been absolutely murdering everybody. Matan's interesting, but I don't think he's going to score.
MVP doesn't take scoring.
No Phil Quintons. Anyone?
No.
Nope.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I was saying, you know,
That's a
another
hard
surprise one might be Schulte. I feel like he can come up big, especially if we're going into PKs.
Yeah.
If we go to a couple PKs and he's able to like snuff those out, he could sneak in as like an
Yeah.
MVP.
Patrick Schulte.
You
Get that
are
stuff on
yawning
film.
stuff. So that's it. That's all I have for that type of stuff. The only other thing I really had on the to-dos before we get into brackets is Taha Haroon got called up to the U17s along with one of our coaches. I think that guy's going to be solid. I bet you we sell him before he even sees the field. Yeah.
So the photo.
I have to.
Is he an actual
Yes.
homegrown though?
Yes,
like
he is from
legit
Columbus.
homegrown.
Is he,
He is
homegrown?
from Columbus.
He's from Columbus? Okay.
I feel like they hold on to something like that. I hope they hold on to something like that and try to build him to the first team as opposed to, you know,
I feel like
get
he
him
would
out
get
there,
sold to
make
like
him big and sell him.
like a Barcelona academy player or something like that. Not Barcelona, but you know, like one of those bigger team academy. Because a lot of people go to academies and don't pan out necessarily. But I could see him because he's so young. U17.
Yeah, the academy is picking off from these men's national team like no other.
If he goes and shines during, is it so? U17 is that?
Is he
No, he's
16?
17.
Or is that
No.
okay? U23s would
Correct.
be U23s are okay. So U23s are the Olympics. I'm excited for that,
Where is
especially
it?
if
Indonesia or
if like Paris.
Oh, it's in Paris. I read something.
I'm sorry, Paris.
Oh,
Duolingo.
okay. When you say it like
do you
that,
roll
yeah.
the R in
in Spanish?
Definitely not. But I speak
Paris.
Spanish as well, so it's hard. You know how that goes.
I'm still,
God bless,
I'm
man. Yo,
still really
pocos.
regretting trying to say
So-
41 in Spanish.
The U17 World Cup is in Indonesia. The
Okay. So I didn't make up
the
Indonesia.
Olympics for the U23s is in Paris.
Thank you
Yeah.
for
Nice.
for
Correct. But I'm
validating
hoping
that.
Taha actually continues to progress.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been the best homegrown since I can't.
Chad Barson.
No, there was another kid out of Grove City that was really good, and then made one appearance.
Where is he from?
Columbus. He's in
There's no way he's
Columbus.
from Grove City. Okay,
No,
Columbus
no.
proper.
There was another kid during the Berhalter time period that got called up to one game, but he played for the U18, U20s with like McKinney and Pulisic and those guys, but then completely didn't progress any further than like 2 caps for the senior team.
I feel like you guys are trying to fielder me into saying "We'll be right" trap.
This episode of the Upper 90 Club is brought to you, as always, by Supporter Supply Company. Hi, friends, this is your good pal Morgan Hughes, here to talk to you about a serious issue facing 96% of all crew supporters in Columbus. Why, not enough free shipping, of course. For a limited time now, through the eventual heat death of the universe, Upper 90 Club listeners can use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z on the end of it, at checkout for free delivery on absolutely any order over $10. But Morgan, what if I order $10 worth of stickers, or those goddamned buttons, or some other combination of small items that make you want to kill yourself? Will the free shipping still apply then, even as you curse our family, while you package up our little tiny annoying ass order for us? Of course it will. That's just how much we here at Supporter Supply value our friends at the Upper 90 Club. So head on over to supportersupply.co and use the promo code Upper90Boys. That's boys with a Z at checkout for free shipping on all your orders over $10. And don't forget to tell them that your friends at the Upper 90 Club sent ya.
All right, we're back. Before we go, we want to talk about I guess just kind of the bracket for the playoffs, but also on MLS. What's the website? bracket.mlssoccer.com. I'm so sorry.
It's like it's like YouTube. What is it like?
That's no, but that site is so hard to
It's so
find. I
bad.
mean, on the app and everything too. It's no easy place to find
Yeah.
it. So if you want the link, we have posted it.
But it's
so
probably
it's
too late,
the easiest
right?
way to
Like
go.
you can't really.
That's what I was going to
Do it
ask.
now.
It says pending.
I think it's
Maybe you
done.
still can.
A few people
Yeah.
managed to navigate the internet.
It's brutal. Yeah.
And so thank you. Thank you for joining us. It looks like Kevin M is on here.
Yeah, Kevin Molino. 100%.
Now, I will say
He's
that he joined very late and we're not sure how he did, but we will see.
It's not good.
But outside of us filling out brackets, well, so just before we talk about how things are going to, how we expect them to unfold, I want to know, other than me, did you guys pick the crew to win it out?
I think two of
Oz
us.
is nodding.
Two of us didn't.
Do we want?
I can't not because I believe that the crew.
Right.
You believe that
take
we will
any
win.
of these
You
matches.
believe that we will
That-
win.
He also
No.
believes
No.
believes that New York Red Bull did win. So let's not forget that. And so okay, so
Yeah.
Trey and Haas said Columbus.
Correct.
What? So that means Mort and Ben are far weather.
Far weather.
Oh my
fans.
goodness.
Orlando.
So who'd you? Let's start with Ben. Who'd you pick?
I actually picked Seattle.
Okay.
Reason being
Because
I
they've
wanna pull
been
your-
good,
I wanna-
right?
So they haven't,
wait
but
for
they've
it.
been-
There it is. There it is. Go ahead, Ben.
they've had like 3 or 4 injuries, and everybody is healthy now, and they've been playing well. So
Ghost of
it's like-
Siggy.
Ghost.
Yeah, and they also they have a tendency to do really well in the playoffs. But and honestly, the main thing about the West that's weird is that the teams aren't very good. So the teams that are kind of hot can slice right through it. And I want to get into the Crew's path to victory is by far the hardest of any team. Period. There is not a question. If we're able to get into
I have a
what is
question.
it, semifinals, the final, it's the teams we play.
I think you could say that
Every
about
team we
every
play-
team in the East, though. Any team in the East.
Disagree.
What do you mean disagree?
Well,
We're all playing each
I
other.
agree.
Yeah, you're kind of saying the same thing. Otherwise.
But game by game, we
Including
have-
home field against non-home field advantage.
Yeah.
I also that it also factors in. And we'll get into it. I think we should actually. So I have Seattle. More. Who do you have?
yeah, Mort, tell us who you got, and then we'll talk about the
had-
bracket.
I'm being called a Mickey Mouse lover, and different
You are.
words were used.
Which is
But
different.
yeah, I had
Yeah.
Orlando. I had
Orlando.
Orlando winning it. I think it's because of team.
I have
that
them in the
we-
final,
we
too.
Do struggled against, and I really believe the East is the stronger conference.
Okay,
Mhm.
you got Orlando
That's also true.
Well,
playing Houston. Okay, all right. So if we look at the East, we want to talk about how the East will be won.
Yeah, our path to the cup.
Yeah, so we've got Atlanta first. Does anyone think we can't beat Atlanta in 3 games?
So I think we can beat them just based on, again, this all comes back to home field FC. A lot of this is you play at home, their chances of winning are 80-20 or something insane. So the fact that we're at home twice helps out a bunch, but Atlanta, so we have a bunch of goals, however many. Atlanta is only off by 1 from us.
Yeah, but our
So,
goal
they
differential
also
with Atlanta is isn't it 8-2 or something? Didn't we beat them?
Yeah,
in
they've
kick
also-
out that first game. Yeah, kick out that first game. That
Yeah.
was kind of an extreme.
Our first
outlier, I
game?
think. But that
Yeah.
was also another game where they did not have a certain Argentinian. So
Who won't be there?
that won't be
for
there
the
again.
first game.
So
And it's-
that we'll see how much that is. But I bet they think in man up, and they're probably going to have a pretty tough mentality because of the two.
Okay.
Yeah, but we also have a pretty good away record, I feel like, at Atlanta. We don't play bad in Atlanta. So
No.
I actually think we will get out of that relatively unscathed,
Okay.
even though Atlanta is a very
Shitty
good
their
team.
field. Shitty their field.
Yeah.
Now, Haas is recovering from COVID. Let's move on to the next fixture on our side, which is Orlando Nashville. And Orlando has the home field advantage. Does anyone think Nashville wins this, or
Oh man, I'm hoping
you can
so.
never. Yeah,
Yeah.
they
They're a great team.
they haven't played well. They haven't been firing all cylinders. But if they get things together, they had a break now, to maybe get themselves back in order and start playing. They are a good team. So
Well, Mukhtar hasn't
I said-
been performing
Yeah.
anywhere near where he
No.
has been, and I think that's the catalyst. If he comes out and starts and does well, and Orlando cools off, especially McGuire, that 23-year-old who they drafted, who's been scoring like crazy, then they have a chance. But if Orlando stays hot, because again, this playoff is all like get hot for a month. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Yeah.
which is also kind of frustrating. I've been listening to a bunch of different podcasts, and they're like, well, which do you value more, the Supporters Shield or the MLS Cup? And like, it has to be the MLS Cup, right? We love this
America.
playoff thing. That's got to be
America.
it. But yeah, it's American thing. But it's like, man, everywhere else, the Supporters Shield is the only definitive winner, and it's like,
Get hot for what?
yeah, it's like they get hot. But I mean, Orlando is. So the problem is, if we beat Atlanta, who is tough, and we don't get injured playing in Atlanta, then we have to play Orlando away at Orlando.
Wait.
Which again,
But we're
I think
talking about Orlando versus Nashville, and I think we're all in agreement that Orlando is going to come away from that the victor.
The way they've been playing, I think we have every reason to
Yes.
believe that's the case.
and the way Nashville's been playing, it's not there yet.
No, I agree
so
with
then,
you.
So then theoretically, if we were filling this thing out like group think here, we'd be playing Orlando next. And
In Orlando,
Two.
one game?
Correct.
Oh yeah,
One
one game off. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we
Oof.
went 95 minutes against
If
them.
it's Nashville, we host?
Yes,
if
correct.
it's-
Nashville
if it's-
host.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would
No,
be
you're right.
so great.
Yeah.
We can always hope that it's a 70-minute game or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and bigger
That would be
goals for Ramirez. As some may know him as Martinez. Sorry.
That will be cut. But yes,
Sorry.
Roberto Martinez.
Okay. All right. So what do you guys think? Do you think we can pull it out? I mean, we did fine. It was a 3-3 game until the 97th minute against Orlando in Orlando.
Yeah,
Correct.
And we can beat any team. I think if we fire on all cylinders, I think we win pretty much every game we play. I really think that's where we are now as a team. If we're playing up, we have one of the highest ceilings in this league, no doubt about it. So I think,
As
there's no reason we
seen in the
won't.
Cincy game at home, right?
Yeah.
They were far and away the highest
we played them off the
point
field.
scoring team in the league, right? I mean, like no one could catch them weeks out from decision day, but we smoked them in August.
Yeah, again, the big thing for me is if Nagby and Morris are on the same page and controlling that midfield, we are the best team. Like, I have full faith in our front three and our back three to kind of hold it down. And if those two are playing in tandem really well, no one can play through us, and we can play right through them. Like that's been the thing. So all that being said, in my personal bracket, I have us losing to Orlando. If they stay hot, we play at Orlando. That's where I have us ending.
Okay, so
I mean, I hope I'm wrong.
So
but
So
Just
you go
since-
from us
since-
being one of the most dangerous teams that can beat anybody to we're going to lose.
we can be.
We can.
I mean, it's
Orlando.
I mean, what was our away record? Our us playing away was atrocious this season. Like us playing away was we won maybe like 3 out of 15 games or something like that. Like
That's like league standard, though, right?
well, yeah,
But that's
if
like
it's
saying we're
that.
not going
So-
to go to Cincinnati and win because they're the Supporter Shield winners and
I mean, and was our last game in Orlando like?
No,
Yeah,
it was August.
hot,
no, it was
hot.
September.
It was hot.
So
It was September.
Yeah, but it was hot. But it was hot.
yeah,
No,
it's
It was like
summer
September
in Orlando
15th.
Still,
It was hydration break hot. Okay, so
yes.
again, going back
That's
to
my point.
time doesn't. I mean, time and temperature.
It felt
Sounds
like
about-
Great band.
the feels like
good
it feels
band,
like in Orlando
Yeah,
was.
and just supporting your guys' view on that one, they are not phenomenal at home. They have lost 3 games, 5 ties, and won 9. So they're almost like 500 in terms of wins.
Yeah.
So they only win half their games.
Yeah, they do well on the
And-
road.
and-
Our away record this year was 4 wins, 5 losses, 8 ties, 17 points.
Well, that's not too bad.
Against, that's 17 points. And then our home record, we had 40 points. So over double of our points were at home.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
Okay.
just, again,
So let's
it's
move.
playing away
Let's
is
move
difficult.
past this round for the crew. I just want to go around and just real quick. Who do you all have coming out of the other side of the bracket? That side has Cincy, Red Bull, New York. Everyone knows that Haas has them picked. Philadelphia or New England.
I
I
have
don't know what I
Cincy.
was thinking. filling this
Cincy.
out.
Cincy.
Cincy, but it was a coin toss between them and Philly.
Yeah. So we all watched the Cincy Red Bull game today, right? And we watched the Philly New England game for the most
I
part.
saw the Cincy.
Portions,
Yeah,
at least.
so I watched both of those games all the way through. Well, except for we hopped on while Cincy was still playing. But Red Bull, I don't think has a chance. I think they're going to run out of steam. Philly, outside of that first 10 minutes of the New England game, looked super good.
Well,
Like,
Red
super
Bull.
good.
Red Bull, as you recall, was a 94th minute PK miss away from sitting out the
Yeah,
offseason.
not being him.
Yeah.
Right.
And next day played kind of tough. I think if I had to do it over again, I would have Philly beating Cincinnati. I actually think Philly's. I mean, remember when they played
think
us? They didn't even
Cincy's-
start their front 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I was not impressed by Philly against Red Bull. Red Bull had them for like 20 minutes. Like if they would have put away a couple chances, they're just not that good. Did we tie them or did we lose away?
to
I
who?
can't remember.
Who?
for the
Philly?
most- We crushed them at home. Cincy.
Oh, Cincy? We lost.
We lost.
We struggle against Philly.
We
We
scored
lost
first.
Last minute.
We
It-
scored first.
Yeah.
Very early, and then lost. And I think it was 3-1.
That was
maybe.
the
all-
one Schulte tried to they Cruyff behind his back and got.
We were down 2-0. We came all the way back, and then Schulte had that, and then Moreira
Oh, that's
had
right,
the
that's right,
big
that's right,
chance
that's
in
right.
the very, very end too,
Right.
which is like incredible save.
And then we smashed them at home.
Yeah,
They won a lot of their games 1-0. They are a very good defensive team, but I'm not entirely sure that they're going to beat Philly.
I think they're going to beat Philly.
because Philly's so pragmatic.
Yeah, but Philly
and
can't.
Curtin's got them playing.
Philly doesn't
I
score
don't know
very
why I
well.
picked New England.
They scored 3 goals against New England. New England is
New
awesome.
England is not awesome.
I feel like they've been scoring 2 to 3 goals pretty regularly. Like,
Philly or Cincy?
Okay. All right. So
feel like
feels like-
feel like
okay, so-
Philly.
yeah, it's a feels
Yeah.
feels
Not
like Philly.
factual.
Is that where we're at?
No,
You think Philly's coming
Cincy.
out? I said New England.
You
I
said
thought New
too?
England was
I
going
did
to
New
beat
England.
Cincy.
I had the upset. I need to have like one upset in my bracket.
Yeah, I
think
do
that
the
was kinda
same
my biggest
thing.
one.
Yeah. Okay.
And I didn't have that in this bracket.
I think the
Also-
upset is Crew beating Cincy.
Orlando.
No, Cincy.
We would
I
hope. Yeah,
will
we would
say-
go to Cincy. We
And
would
beat
go
them.
to
And beat
Cincy and beat them. And I don't know what the ticket sales allocation is or whatever.
Oh, they would screw us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't blame them, to be honest with you.
But
They tickle the hell out of us.
but
is that what it's called?
Yes, it is the tickle.
yeah, that's
Oh, I thought it was like when you don't give tickets out, it's called tickling the hell out of us. I thought that was like a
tickle. Hell's real. Tickle the hell out of us.
oh man.
Double and
I
triple.
will you
say,
are
I
on
would've
the
stopped
wrong.
the-
Get
Love
your
it.
own show, dude. Get your own show. What are you doing here? Oh my God.
He's sitting down, but it's pretty much.
I was just gonna
stand-up.
make another "he had COVID" joke, but like you're just operating at another level. Could you have gotten like good COVID or something, where it like?
So, full disclosure, when I edit this podcast, there is so much we don't hear Haas say that is hilarious. He just kind of like interjects stuff. Same thing with you, Himmel, sometimes, and I'm always just like, when I'm editing, I'm like,
Yeah, but
like,
my
"Man, we
microphone
never-
always works too, so it's not really fair. Like,
yeah,
you
that's
know,
also
like,
true.
Touche.
Okay, all right. So, and then on the West, let's just real quick. Who do you guys think is going to come out of the West?
Oof.
Houston and LAFC.
Yeah,
I have
Agreed.
Houston, Seattle.
Man,
I have Seattle
had
beating
St.
the
Louis,
LAFC.
and that's not looking good.
Yeah,
No,
Houston.
Currently,
I
it's
have Houston,
3-1.5.
LA.
They're losing at
I
home.
know.
Yeah,
I have Houston beating St. Louis,
yeah.
but I wasn't impressed with Houston.
well,
today either.
it's good for us if it's good for us if St. Louis loses.
No, it
correct?
Doesn't matter.
We ended up.
We're
ahead of
better
them.
than.
Yeah.
We have a better
We
supporter.
beat the Western
better than-
Conference. Yeah.
St. Louis is
I
below
thought
us.
there
in
was
Now,
standings.
what I
mean,
what I will
that
say
is the good
is
news.
it's funny to me that we all, except for somebody I can't remember, picked Houston. This is 100% reactive. Like that was the game we all
Ourselves is
watched
really good.
together, right? It was the Houston game where they beat us, and we're like, "Oh, well, they beat us. They must be good."
Yes, that is true.
But they are good. I mean, they
They
are.
are good.
Yeah.
RSL is really good. I think besides us, the Columbus Crew, Houston has another like kind of difficult path to get all the way. And I view Houston like us, where we're not like one of the number 1 or 2 seeds, but kind of the dark horse. I feel like Houston could go a very long way. RSL is really good, and I don't know.
Yeah.
They beat them today, but it was a lot closer than.
The result is closer to what the play was. I would say.
Well, thank you to the few people who were able to navigate the internet and submit brackets for our bracket challenge here. And looking forward to seeing some gameplay. We got a game this week. I guess we'll do an episode after that game. I'm not sure how our recording and games are going to line up going through the playoffs here, but we'll try and be consistent. And good luck to Kevin M. I wish you the best of luck. I think that's it.
Only Kevin M. who does Kevin M have winning it?
Columbus.
Because it's
Columbus.
Kevin Michaels.
I think it's very. Is it? Yeah. Who does he have playing? I think it's very interesting. You can see everybody else. Oh, he's Houston,
Yeah.
Philly. This isn't a bad bracket.
Was he at Hawes's house when we watched that game?
Yeah, he was in the basement tied up. Haas.
All right. Well, let's do this. Let's get out into against Atlanta, and then we can figure out what to do about Orlando or Nashville. After that, hopefully it's Nashville, and we get another bonus home game.
Quick question. And throwing. And
Yes,
this
we
is
can
out of
hear
left
you.
field.
Yeah, we can hear you.
predicting games, like scores for this game, and we'll predict each round of the playoffs.
Yes, and it will count towards our total.
Yeah.
Correct. Continue to count because I need.
Yes,
that.
you do. I know.
A lot.
We're throwing you a
A
bone.
lot.
So you are, as Mort says, in the basement, and in this case with Kevin M.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow, that's a
Only
good
by
one.
2 points though. 2 points.
All right.
So yeah, that, and then we're still going to be doing it, and we'll probably do another like weird win stuff from Ben's house because I have a bunch of what I think is awesome stuff that my wife won't let me put around our house. So it's got to go somewhere.
It's just all of the old trading cards that come with the homage shipments that you get.
The Tina Turner. Oh no, I have the Tina Turner right here. Rest in peace.
What do you have?
Do you have the
what
Matthew
you mean
Perry
by that.
too?
I don't have the Matthew Perry. Tina Turner, right there. Boop.
All right.
I also have this postcard with the Pope on it that you gave me like 15 years ago.
Oh, nice.
Did
Nice.
one of his kids kiss it?
What about do you have a 2020
Pope's
2023
kids?
Martinez
He doesn't have
card
any
that
kids.
you could
It's signed. Cucho Martinez.
All right.
My favorite Martinez.
All right, we've reached the logical conclusion. Go Crew.
Go Crew.
Thanks everyone for joining the club. We hope you'll listen next week and every week, even in the off season, to celebrate or commiserate. We'll save you a seat. If you like this podcast, please give us 5 stars and subscribe. You can email us at upper90clubpod@gmail.com. That's upper90clubpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at upper90clubpod. Go Crew!
Ben Swanson. That's his name.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I kept.
Samsonite.
Honest to God,
I was way off.
Swami, Swanson.
Swammy.
Oh, it's right there on the briefcase. Oh, God.
Samsonite.